If you don't have a PS5 yet, you're not missing out on much. Yet. What's good, everyone? It's Blank Frank, and welcome back to yet another video. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're not new, then welcome back. So today I'm giving you guys a long-term review of the PS5, and I'm going to try to convince you that it hasn't been worth it for me in the past year. I don't buy PlayStations to play Call of Duty, 2K, or Grand Theft Auto for the 9th year in a row. I buy them to play stuff like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Uncharted, Demon's Souls, Ratchet & Clank, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, the list goes on and on. But when Sony can't deliver their AAA titles, you just end up playing the same games that you've been playing for the past 3 or 4 years. When the PS5 first came out, all we had was Astro's Playroom, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Demon's Souls. Spider-Man was fun, but it was only about 10 hours, and it was basically a reskin of the original Spider-Man game. Demon's Souls was fun, but I'm not too proud to admit that it's not my type of game, so I just ended up putting it down. Eventually, Ratchet & Clank came out, and it was actually a very fun game. It showed what it would be like when a game was designed to take full advantage of an SSD. The game released with 2 graphic settings. The first being a fidelity mode, which ran the game at 4K 30 frames per second with ray tracing, and a second performance mode that turned ray tracing off, lowered the resolution, but boosted the frame rate from 30 to 60. Eventually, a performance ray tracing mode came out, which ran the game at 60 frames per second with ray tracing, but it ran it between 1080p and 1440p. So those games were fun, but the thing is, Sony just doesn't have a Breath of the Wild yet. And what I mean by that is, in the past years, Sony hasn't had a game that's been so good that it was worth buying a whole new console for. Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok are 2 huge games worth looking forward to. But for the past year, I just can't say that my PS5 has been worth it. And with so many PlayStation games being ported for PC, you lose the appeal of hardware boosting the older games. On a more positive note though, let's talk about the design. I got the digital PS5 for 2 reasons. The first being that I haven't bought a physical game in years. And the second is that the version with the disc drive just doesn't look good to me. To me, it just looks out of place, it's on the side, it's asymmetrical, and it feels like a second thought. Also, I just hate getting off the couch to switch games. In terms of the controversial color and design, I actually like them both. Compared to my PS4, this thing stands out. When you walk into the living room, you say, oh, that's a PS5. And I like that, it feels good, it feels refreshing. The DualSense controllers are the biggest selling point of this console. To start, they have a new design which is overall bigger than the PS4 controller. At first, when Sony said that they made the controller bigger, I thought they were crazy, until I held it in my hand. It's much more comfortable and ergonomic, the shape makes more sense, and I just like it. The new haptic feedback is an absolute game changer. In Ghost of Tsushima, when you ride your horse, you can feel the different textures that you're riding on. When you're riding on a bridge, when you're riding in the mud, when you're riding in the flowers, it all feels different. In Ratchet & Clank, on the first level, you go inside this robot club and you can feel your controller vibrating to the beat of the song. The controllers also feature a mic that you can mute and a built-in speaker so that you can talk to your friends without a headset. In Ratchet & Clank, when you try to fire your gun, you'll be met with a bit of resistance before it actually fires. Now, I will admit this is kind of annoying when you're playing a competitive shooter like Warzone, but in a more casual game, it's pretty nice. In terms of battery life, I can easily pull a 9 to 10 hour session on a single charge. And if I'm just using the PlayStation as a multimedia device, I can go about a month or 2 before I have to plug it back in. If the white colorway isn't your thing, don't worry, Sony has released 3 more colors for the controllers for a total of 5. My apartment has very thin walls, so I also picked up the Pulse 3D headset when the PS5 released. The design is really nice and nothing about it screams this is a gaming headset. The mics are inside the ear cups, which keeps things minimal, and the battery life is rated for about 12 hours. Now, the feature of 3D audio really stands out in a game like Ratchet & Clank. On one of the first levels, you can hear the ships flying above you, the club that I mentioned before, the robots all around you. It's pretty nice. What's not nice though is this poorly designed interface. For some reason, Sony decided to put all the buttons in a straight line on the left ear cup, and I can never tell what buttons I'm pressing. Sony cut a lot of corners with the interface, and I really hope that they fix it in the future. The headset has its flaws, but it's a hard deal to pass up at $99. In terms of storage, you start out with a decent amount at 825 gigs of SSD, but with the operating system installed, you only have 670 gigs. Now again, Sony is cutting corners here. I don't know why they didn't start with a terabyte of SSD, but hey. Now if you have any other game installed besides Call of Duty, you're probably gonna want an external SSD. They're pretty easy to install, so don't be intimidated. You've just gotta remove this side panel here, and then remove this screw here. I don't have one installed yet, but when I do, I'll probably get this Western Digital one that I'll leave you guys a link for below. It comes in capacities all the way up to 2 terabytes, so that should be more than enough for all of your Call of Duty updates. So by now, I'm sure you guys have seen the new UI, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but I do have one gripe about it. Sony changed the press versus hold functions of the PlayStation button. On the PS4, you would just tap the PlayStation button to return to the main menu and then hold it to turn the console off. But on the PS5, Sony reversed it, so now you tap it to turn it off and then hold it to return to the main menu. It seems small, but like after years of using the PS4, it's really annoying. I don't know why they changed it. So the bane of the PS4 was that it sounded like a Hellcat or a missile was launching whenever it was under any type of load. But I'm proud to report that the PS5 has been dead silent since the day I got it. A lot of it comes from the giant cooling fan that they use, and also from the overall size of the console. The PS5 isn't big just to be big, it's big because it's basically a giant heatsink. The size helps it disperse heat and also stay quiet. Alright, so final thoughts. You know, the PS5 has a lot of potential, but after I finished playing the new PS5 games that came out, I found myself just going back to older games that I already played. And then when I got bored with that, all I did was use my PS5 to stream Crunchyroll. Now again, there are games to look forward to like Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok, but if you haven't managed to get a PS5 in the last year, you haven't been missing much, I promise you. But in the same breath, one of those two games are going to be that Breath of the Wild for the PS5. So at this point, if I didn't have one, I would be trying to get one. So that about wraps up my long-term PS5 review. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Blank Frank is signing off for now. Until next time.